slim part of western Cowley County in Kansas. So this is an orange spin-up tornado. I have no idea why that was formed. Very difficult to see anything ongoing in here. I don't see any type rotation, so this might be a preventative warning down here for Gilda Springs towards Winfield. You can see it's quite a small warning, so the National Weather Service Warning Coordination Manager right now is issuing small warnings because these are spin-up tornadoes if they are occurring, meaning that they won't last very long. So we don't want too many people in that tornado warning because it's probably not going to exist by the time it's moved through much of the polygon. So this makes sense. That's why we see a super small warning here. But what makes a little bit less sense is that we don't really see a tight area of rotation right here. So this might just be a preventative warning because it looks like the storm is concerning and could spin up a brief tornado there. Actually, a little bit not sure why this was issued, but we'll go ahead and relay the National Weather Service warnings. So yeah, this storm is going to make it to El Dorado in Kansas. Yes.
Minor flooding in low-lying and poor drainage areas. Additional details.
Thank you for the strawberry Dr. Pepper Fund. Peace of mind, much appreciated. Thank you, Quinn. Going through Woodward, happy to help you in that area. I'm glad you tuned in. We're able to receive information from there. Oh, El Dorado, Arkansas. It's pretty far away from that area. I believe that's in, I can't remember where exactly that is. Is that southeast of Little Rock? It's going to take some time for the storms to reach areas in Arkansas. Alright, so let's take a look at our spin-up tornado warning there in central Oklahoma. Again, this is approaching Orlando. Please consider getting in shelter right now in Orlando, right along I-35. Very strong storms are approaching I-35. Definitely are going to disrupt travel with very strong winds. You need to make sure people are not taking shelter under overpasses, though, anywhere along I-35 here as this line of storms approaches from the west. We've had the reason why this tornado warning exists for Orlando, Oklahoma here along I-35 is because this area of storms right here to the north of Oklahoma City has developed a rear inflow jet, which has pushed it out and accelerated it forward much faster than it was going before. So now we have a bow of damaging winds right here, and on the northern side here is where we get that counterclockwise spin here that can lead to tornado breaks. So that's why we see spin-up tornadoes possible in this pretty strong part of the line right here. Not seeing a super tight signature here, but it's very possible that there could be some strong circulations ongoing right as the storm approaches Orlando. So please be taking shelter. That is why this part of the storm has become tornadic. Again, that's going to lead to the southern side of this rear inflow jet surge, which is where Oklahoma City Metro is. This is going to be a non-tornadic part of the storm. So our concern for spin-up tornadoes is definitely locked up here at the moment with the recent progression of this storm forward. So El Reno and Edmond and further south, non-tornadic, will definitely get some damaging winds that move through right along this severe thunderstorm polygon that you see that was just issued. So now a lot of you guys in the metro, if you are already under a warning, you now have that severe thunderstorm warning coming through on your phone or wherever you receive warnings. Elk City, Oklahoma also going through a little bit of the strong storm back here to the southwest. I believe this part of the storm is also non-tornadic. No, I'm not concerned with the Iowa storm. All of the storms in Iowa are remaining sub-severe into the night.
Severe thunderstorm watch number 329 remains in effect until 2 a.m. Central Daylight Time Sunday for the following counties.
This is a really gnarly-looking signature here west of Orlando. Really hope people are able to take shelter here. Not too many people are asleep as we get to about 11 p.m. here. Thank you to Bash. I appreciate it. I love strawberry Dr. Pepper. That's why everybody is donating with that. It's such a good soda. You know, if you guys haven't tried it yet, you're your soda heads. It's my favorite soda by far. So appreciate you guys for that. Thank you to Bash. Thank you everybody who's contributed. Hopefully I didn't miss anybody. No, not via DoorDash. No, I'm not going to order it right now. Oh gosh. North Central near Newkirk just lost power, so parts of this storm, even if non-tornadic, have very damaging winds right now moving into the Ponca City area here, and it's knocking out people's power, so we just had a report from Newkirk right up here. Losing power is a part of this line of storms. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that this storm that we're watching here is a derecho, if you guys are familiar with that term. I do believe that this is definitely the continuation of a derecho. It's been a very powerful storm that's self-sustaining for hundreds of miles since Colorado, with quite a few significant winds. Reports along with it 75 miles an hour or greater. So yeah, I think we're watching a derecho right now for sure.
This is a radar indicated threat.
Man, this is really gnarly. Right outside of Mulhall in Orlando. This is a bad spin up storm right here. We're not really going to be able to see. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to see a debris signature with this. All I can tell you is that you don't want to be outside of this whatsoever. We have very strong rotation right in here. About to pass near Orlando and Mulhall in Oklahoma. Yeah, it's very possible that a lot of the Oklahoma City Metro can lose power with this storm, for sure. So your guys' stormiest hour is starting just a little bit from northwest to southeast here. And it's going to last for probably a good 30-45 minutes as the storms pass through. Fort Smith, you're a few hours away from seeing this storm, probably 3 hours or so, 2.5 to 3. Okay, so let's go back to Texas. See what this storm is doing here. Goldthwait still looks pretty concerning. Definitely worth keeping this tornado warning attached to it. Good grief. So we've still got this classic supercell look to the storm. We've got the hook coming out of the southwest part of it here. Classic supercell going right through Mills County very slowly. So most of Goldthwait is about to get in on the hail core in this storm. The tornadic threat is just outside the town to the south and west. Approaching Castor and Scalorn quite slowly, but still looking pretty concerning.
Expect considerable tree damage. Wind damage is also likely to mobile homes, roofs, and
let's see here. Is
locations
there a
impacted
good
include Oklahoma City,
way to look at these storms near Durant? So I'm going to bring the Frederick radar here. Actually, really quickly, let's take a look at Elk City and Sayre here. We've had this has quite a lot of hail associated with it. A lot of hail with this storm here on the southwest side of our derecho. So still really powerful storm moving through. So we're probably going to see a new severe thunderstorm warning that extends out in front of this thing for Hobart. These areas down here. I believe this looks like it's maintaining a non-tornadic threat here. You can kind of see the gust front is actually coming all the way down here. So air is not able to reach this part of the storm at the surface, and that's why I believe it's remaining non-tornadic right in here. So I don't think this is a tornadic part of the storm, and we might need to watch it pretty closely if it continues to look sus over here. Okay, so tornado warning in Kansas has been dropped. Let's bring this over so that I can look at Durant, Oklahoma. Because this part of the storm down here, this is a separate complex of storms, wow. We've had development all the way out into southeast Oklahoma too. That's incredible. How fast did that develop? So we already have a bunch of heavy rain falling out in front of this. I think this storm, if it doesn't get choked off, is going to continue through this corridor down here towards Texarkana, maybe getting as far south as Mount Pleasant, Texas, possibly Shreveport. But if this storm doesn't reach you there in Shreveport, I think something back here will at some point in the early morning hours for anybody wondering about Shreveport.
Until 11:45 p.m. Central Daylight Time.
So still some strong storms moving through, about to hit the Durant area up to Atoka.
Along a line extending from 3 miles northeast of Carter
Okay,
to New Willow to 6 miles north.
and we have radar distortion here from the Oklahoma City radar.
Includes 70 miles an hour.
Possibly, wow, what is going on here? Possibly an area of concern right here at actually, which is incredibly surprising. Yeah, if we take a look at this part of the storm, it actually looks like it is trying to do something right here, right on this little appendage. You can kind of see that coming down here, right near Edmond, Oklahoma. So it looks like it's passing out of the metro area right now, which is just starting to get in on those really strong winds right along this gust front. You see the gust front in this green line right here. That's the strong winds out in front of the storm. The heavy rain is back behind it. So it's going to be really powerful dust that comes through right with this this line of that you can see on the radar. I'm very intrigued by this area near Edmond. I'm very surprised that it's actually trying to spin counterclockwise here. It's a very interesting part of the storm to be exhibiting that behavior. So yeah, that's surprising to me. We might need to keep a close eye on that. I'm sure National Weather Service Norman is keeping a close eye on that. But probably the most intense rotation is right here near Mulhall. It's actually outside of the tornado warning. It's kind of exiting the polygon. But we very well could have a tornado on the ground from this part of the storm. Alright, so now we're going to have a warning reissued for parts of Kansas. Let's take a look at what's going on up there. So we've had some of the damaging winds, some of the stronger winds moving through the gust front on Wichita. You can start to see some gusty winds also in the railfan camera right below me. That's Oklahoma City. So the storms are encroaching on both of our railfan cameras, and I think that new tornado warning is going to be right here south and east of Derby. So it looks like this is a spin-up tornado ready to happen. And it actually does include areas all the way up to Andover, here in Kansas, east of Wichita. So if you're getting a warning coming through in Wichita, Eastboro, Greenwich Heights, and Andover, it's for this spin-up tornado possible down here right over Derby. So you can see that forming right there over the last few scans coming together. And now it is warned. Good job from the National Weather Service there in Wichita. So please take this warning seriously. At 11 p.m., you're not going to be able to see very much of anything. So take shelter in Andover, Greenwich Heights here, out ahead of this possible spin-up tornado. These things don't last very long, so the hope is that it is not rotating by the time it gets to you. There in Greenwich Heights, Andover, etc., eastern part of the Wichita metro. But that's the reason this warning was issued. Have some very strong, several rounds of very strong winds moving through Wichita. You can see them right next to the radar here. In fact, right at the airport. Right at the airport was a 71 mile an hour wind report 7 minutes ago. So pockets of very strong winds are moving through Wichita at the moment. Going to be a gusty 30 minutes or so for you guys down there. And this is what I am very concerned with. You know, nonetheless, we have this tornado warning just issued down here for east of Wichita Metro. Right here is the thing I have been waiting for to see what happens. Is the interaction of these supercells ahead of the line. You can see them begin to being pulled back into the line approaching from the west. When these come together, I'm very concerned about this corridor right here. Seeing a tornado. So that's Furley, Bel Air to the north and east of Wichita. Is right where that's going to happen. I think we might see a little bit of a mesoscale accident, which means a small-scale interaction here that results in a tornado. It's just an accident that these storms happen to come together exactly in the wrong way to produce a tornado. So we might see that happen right here. Okay, so We've also had the Texas warning extended. That does include Lampasas County. That does include Lampasas County now. So let's take a close look at the storm. Again, it's looking the weakest it has this entire time. Not seeing a very coordinated area of rotation, but the warning was extended to Lolita here in Texas, to the north and west of Lampasas. So it's still got that classic supercell look to it. This is in central Texas, approaching Lampasas County. Classic look to it. Here's our supercell. Tornado warning is this pink box for anyone just joining. And if we take a look at anything we can see here, no noticeable debris whatsoever on the correlation coefficient, so we're all good there. This has not yet managed to produce a tornado, but it's still rotating supercells with a hook and an organized area of rotation, so we will be watching it closely. Again, please continue to take shelter in gold plates, probably pounding with any small hail that's coming out of the storm right now. This is expected to move towards Castor and Scowell. That's the area of concern for the path of this possibly tornadic storm. Okay, so let's go back up to our central Oklahoma storm. Again, this is passed through the Orlando, Mulhall area. It's just passed over Interstate 35 right there near those towns. This is headed towards Stillwater. Again, this still looks like a concerning area of the storm. We could see another attempt at a spin-up tornado right in here in this corridor as it approaches Stillwater from the west. So please be on alert here in Stillwater, Oklahoma, if you know anybody in that town. I know it's a larger town, so anybody has any contacts there, let them know that dangerous part of the storm is approaching there, and it would be a great idea to be in shelter.
Additional details at 9:12 p.m.
Tornado warning associated with it was allowed to expire. There isn't any very tight rotation, but what's concerning here is that there is strong winds on pushing this part of the storm forward. So if we see anything connect here, it does have potential to do damage. No sirens in Stillwater, as there is no tornado warning at the moment for that part of the storm, but it is definitely going to be an impactful storm. Yet another update for our friends. The gust front is moving through. Now probably Valley Brook to Moore area is where we're going to start seeing those strong winds. Gust front of the storm, all the storms are pushing forward. And then over the next 30 to 45 minutes or so will be the stormiest hour for the Oklahoma City Metro as it passes through. You guys are in a considerable severe thunderstorm warning there in OKC, and that's for 70-mile-an-hour winds. Okay, so the northern part of this line looks to be maintaining intensity, and this would actually put, this most recent rear inflow jet surge would actually put the strongest part of the storm on a line towards the Tulsa Metro here. And of course, again, that's about an hour away from y'all in Tulsa. 45 minutes to an hour, you'll start to see it on the horizon. You'll start seeing flashes. So you'll know things are ramping up there in Tulsa. Probably about 45 minutes or so from now. All right, back to Kansas. As we observe the proceedings here, very gusty winds moving through Wichita, 71-mile-an-hour wind report at the airport, and plenty of damaging winds moving through the metro. So this warning down here was for a brief spin-up tornado. It looks like it's already done for. Doesn't look like we currently have a spin-up tornado ongoing, but this is the area that was prompting this tornado warning on the eastern side of the Wichita Metro for Andover, Eastboro, Greenwich Heights, and Rose Hill there. So continue taking shelter in Andover and Greenwich Heights. Of course, the area of concern is right here and is going generally in this direction. However, it currently looks like it is not producing a tornado. And my area of concern is starting up right now. So this is literally the edge of the supercell and the edge of the line of storms are meeting up right now, right in the Furley, Benton, Bel Air region here to the north and east of Wichita. southeast of Newton. So this is what I'm very concerned with. I think we could see we could see a couple of circulations result from this interaction. Whenever a supercell interacts with the line of storms, we do oftentimes see a very quick increase in the intensity of circulations here. So yeah, if you're hearing sirens anywhere in Wichita, it is for this tornado warning down here. The area of rotation is near Rose Hill and is passing to the north-northeast, probably on the east side of Andover. So it is well out of the city. Well out of the city of Wichita, Kansas proper. So there's your updated warning. So now you can see in this pink box, this is our tornado warning where this is concentrated. Okay, so very, very closely watching this interaction right up here. Thank you guys for being here during any part of the stream, by the way. If you're still here in Tampa, it's just looking like heavy rain and a lightning show moving through there. I have stopped focusing on that area because it doesn't look like we're going to have any organized threat come together. So just a loud thunderstorm for Tampa. Hopefully some drought relief over there after a dry spring. Ooh, okay. So yeah, most concerned with this storm interaction right here. I think we might see some tornadic activity right here to the west of El Dorado, probably right in this vicinity. Okay, so let's go back to Texas. Latest update on our central Texas storm here. We are in the state. You can see the state outline there. Entering northwest Lampasas County. This is the least concerning that this storm over Goldthwaite has looked so far. Still a strong supercell, and it has exhibited rotation for quite some time now. But we're not seeing any real localized areas of rotation that would indicate that this is still bearing an immediate tornadic threat. However, the pink box is the tornado warning. Continue to take shelter there in southern and southeastern Mills County, central Mills County, and towards Lomita here in northwest Lampasas County in Texas. Okay, hopefully this is allowed to expire pretty soon. Very, very active night of storm so far. Let's go ahead and look at central Oklahoma to northern Oklahoma here. Storm is on Stillwater, Oklahoma's doorstep. Doesn't look like any tight rotation is in process here. You can see our bow echo very nicely. Just take a look at that bowing shape there. The winds are pushing it forward very, very quickly right here in the center. And right on that northern side is where we saw that previous tornado warning. So I was concerned for the town of Stillwater. I think it's still going to be pretty gnarly there. Very powerful winds moving in. Okay. So again, looking out ahead of this storm, looks like we're about 45 minutes out from Tulsa or so. And it does look like it's going to be a strong storm once it reaches the Tulsa area. So you can kind of just extrapolate maybe another hour or so further east here, maybe 2 hours away from Fort Smith and northwest Arkansas. It does look like y'all will get in on some of the storms here as we get into the early morning hours past midnight for your area. And it looks like this southwestern extension of our derecho, which is what we're calling this now because we've had plenty of significant wind reports. The southwestern extension of the derecho is going to pass through, and it looks like it is going to clip the Lawton, Oklahoma area over the next hour or so. So we're going to see this line of storms generally progress into this direction, possibly even making it to the northern Dallas-Fort Worth suburbs into 2 a.m. or so, into the early morning hours. So if that maintains intensity, we could definitely see it make its path down this way, going over Ardmore again, which has just gone through a severe thunderstorm from this complex of storms right here. So very active night ahead. does look like these storms have consolidated and will continue to pose a damaging wind threat in front of them for quite some time, all the way through the early morning hours. But yeah, there's a train on the Wichita train cam. Okay, now back up to Kansas. As this approaches Stillwater, I would definitely, it's a great idea to just be taking shelter away from windows because it's going to be pretty powerful, pretty strong winds. You know, if you have a weak tree anywhere in your yard, I want you guys to make sure like you're not next to any windows, any glass that could come down as a result of that. Okay, so let's go back up to Wichita, Kansas. Latest update up here. There it is. This is what I was concerned with, guys. Literally, I can't tell you. Time and time again, I just can't tell you how often this happens where a supercell collides with the line, and then this part of it is just pushed forward so quickly. We have very strong rotation starting up right here near Benton. So there you go. That's to the northeast of Wichita, right in the area that I've been highlighting. I've been given this area my most concern as these things come together. So this is probably going to incur a tornado warning. I'm almost certain of that for parts of Butler County here as it exits Sedgwick County, right along county or State Road 254 there. So this is probably going to incur a tornado warning that might include El Dorado, Kansas, and definitely Towanda, Kansas. So please consider taking shelter out ahead of this. This is definitely a gnarly storm interaction that's going to lead to something tornadic. Guys, don't say I didn't call that like 30 minutes ago. Watching those supercells just mosey around near Newton, Kansas. Don't say I did not call that, because, yeah, this is exactly what I was thinking would happen. So hopefully, people in this area have been weather aware tonight. Don't say I didn't call that. All right, our initial or previous tornado warning for parts of Sedgwick County into Butler County here was this area right down here. This is going to be allowed to expire. It was previously a spin-up tornado. This is about 15 minutes ago near the Rose Hill area. It's expected to travel up to the north and east, possibly east of Andover. This is what incurred anybody who heard any sirens in the Wichita Metro. It was for this specific tornado warning off to your east that is moving east and away from the city. So hopefully that helps with anybody looking for answers about that. All right, we got the Oklahoma City railfan camera right below me. That's definitely getting in on the storms now as they go through the metro down there, bringing some strong winds. Excuse me. And also we've got the Wichita railfan camera. Trains have continued moving even through these considerable severe thunderstorm warnings, which is pretty impressive. Those trains don't care. They don't care. So yeah, that's a look up here. The northern side of our derecho. This warning in Kansas has been allowed to expire. I'm very curious to see if we're going to see a new tornado warning up here for this part of the storm.
A new tornado warning has been issued
in Butler County and also the very eastern, northeastern part of Sedgwick County here. There's our new tornado warning. Wouldn't you believe it? This area that I was concerned with, 30 minutes ago, 45 minutes ago, now we have a tornado warning right here. That's probably going to include, hopefully will include El Dorado, Kansas, Towanda, Kansas. Please be taking shelter now, officially in a tornado warning. So there you go. There's your new area of concern warned by National Weather Service in Wichita. All right, so there's your warning. Please be taking shelter out ahead. Let's see where this, I'm not sure where this polygon's going to come through. It's taking a little bit of time here, but everywhere out in front of this, I would recommend taking shelter. All right, back in Texas. Here's our Goldthwait storm. This is the least concerning that this storm has looked as it stands. as it approaches Lampasas County border. It is now exiting the Goldthwaite area finally. It feels like it's been over Goldthwaite forever. So finally exiting that town to the south and east. I'm not seeing anything particularly concerning with this storm. Let's see if anything exists from another radar site. Oh yeah, I had COVID 2 weeks ago, guys. Don't worry. This is literally just the recovery cough that lasts forever. You know it if you've had it. But I am definitely punching through it. I don't care. I want to keep the coverage going here. Happy to help Zach Smith there in Andover. Thank you for tuning in that tornado warning. Hopefully you're taking good shelter. Yeah, Wichita, Kansas is good. You're just going to have some, you're probably still going to have some gusty conditions for a while. So from a different radar site, still can't see much going on with this storm, unfortunately. Pretty far away from all radar sites. So to the best of my ability to tell, this is still a dangerous storm here in now entering southeastern Mills County. We'll see if this warning is continued, but hopefully this loses its tornadic potential and we stop getting tornado warnings for this, but it still looks like a dangerous storm. Moving very slowly in Texas. This is moving, it says it's moving southeast at 25 miles an hour, but boy, does it feel like it's been there forever, I'll tell you. So continue taking shelter in Castor and Scalorn to the southeast of Goldthwaite in central Texas. Hopefully this is dying out. This most recent scan looks the least concerning that I've seen, so we'll continue to monitor that storm, but thankfully it looks like it's on the decline. Alright, back up to Kansas. Here's our tornado warning, right on the fringes of El Dorado here. Looks like it's struggling to put down anything in particular. But we definitely had rotation starting up right here near Benton, right as the supercell collided with the line. So here you go. Here's a look at that. I'll play it back through so you can see what I was concerned with. Here's our supercell staying pretty much idle out in front of the line. Here's our line approaching from the west. Bam, there's our rotation that starts up. It looks like it's not doing anything, though. This is great. So this doesn't look like it's ended up to producing a tornado. It's just had some pretty rampant rotation around both sides of what this is warned for. So hopefully that remains the case. We don't see a tornado out of this, but man, that definitely had the potential to, and that's why it's warned. So would be the best case scenario if we do not get a tornado out of this to the northeast of Wichita, west of El Dorado here in Kansas. All right, let's go back to central Oklahoma. Check in on you guys. Look how fast this storm has moved through the metro. It's already through Norman. The gust front is moved through, so you guys have already heard the very gusty winds through Norman, through Moore, and the rain hasn't even started yet for a lot of y'all down there. But it's back there. I promise it's back in here. So it's going to take some time to get down there, but this is why you're not in a tornado threat at all in the Oklahoma City metro. You can see all down the line here that this gust front is well out in front of the storm. So here you go. Here's the look at that gust front there. So this is the leading edge of the winds pushing out of the storm. The storm is moving these winds rapidly forward. 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts are probably happening all along this line. So it's definitely a very dangerous, wind gust there. But what this also does is prevent tornadoes. So we're not going to see tornadoes anywhere in the Oklahoma City metro because this gust front right here means no air is punching into, where this strong rain is or where this heavy rain is. So we're not going to see any tornadoes anywhere in the Oklahoma City metro. You guys are good. You just got to deal with the very gusty winds and the strong storms right now. Okay, so we just had a destructive warning updated here. That said Creek County in Oklahoma, which is this part of the storm right here. So National Weather Service Tulsa has gone ahead and issued a destructive severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of this. That's what this warning box in particular is for. 80-mile-an-hour winds. And the reason they've gone and issued that warning out ahead of time for Stroud and east towards Bristow along I-44, one county away from Tulsa, is because this is the bowing part of the line. So right here you can see the storm being pushed forward the most, and it creates this bow shape right here. So this is where the most powerful part of the storm is. This is where the strongest winds are moving through, is right out in front of this bow. So now we have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning out ahead of the expected path of this bow echo here. So if that destructive severe thunderstorm warning is continued into the Tulsa area, you will hear sirens for that. And because that was issued, I am going to stay on until it reaches Tulsa, just to make sure that everybody understands, and anybody who might filter in the Tulsa area who is hearing the tornado sirens and is wondering what's going on. The reason for that will be a destructive severe thunderstorm warning if it is issued and extended into the Tulsa metro. And we'll be here. I will not stop. Oh, okay. A lot of storms to cover tonight, but this is what a derecho looks like, guys. So if you've ever heard the term derecho, you are watching one right now. You're watching one right now. All right, the tornado warning in Texas was allowed to expire here near Gulf Waves. So this is now a severe thunderstorm warn. No tornado warning with this. We'll have to keep a close eye and see if it attempts to do anything again. I don't think this storm ever did produce a tornado, as it passed through Mills County very slowly here along its path. But so that's good. I don't think it produced a tornado, but we'll have to see if it ever did in its lifetime. We never saw a debris signature on radar, so hopefully we can confidently close the book on this guy down here. But down ahead of this storm, if it does persist, would be the Fort Hood area in Killeen, Belton and Temple. But it doesn't look like it is going to make it to you guys. It looks like it's trying to lose intensity here. It's trying to lose strength. So hopefully that's the case, and those areas don't see any impacts from that supercell. Back up to Kansas. Still watching this interaction between the supercell and the line of storms here. We still got a really, really powerful area of winds. So tornado or not, this pocket of 75, 80 mile an hour winds is approaching El Dorado, Kansas, and is just a couple of minutes away from impacting that town. So this is going to be a very powerful part of the storm as it gets there.
Alright, guys, I'm going to end the stream. I'm getting
happy to help
bored,
David. Yeah, thank you guys for the support. Anyone who sends along, hopefully I helped Anthony
talk to you
for
tomorrow. See you later.
Joplin
JD Holiday checking out.
Does
if
look
you
like you guys
continue
are
watching,
maybe
go
an hour
on
and a half to 2 hours out from the
go
storm
on to Andy Hill's stream,
and it's probably still going to have
any of the
some
people that
severe
have
threat for wind
ping
when it
down
reaches
below
you guys, and also
in the
into
live
Northwest
stream
Arkansas
description.
for everybody in
See you
those
later.
areas. Looks
JD
like you're
Holiday
about
checking out.